Number 1.
On the evening of April 3, 1987, Sarah Boyd, her 2-year-old daughter Kimberly and her friend, Linda McCord, attended a gospel concert in Waltersboro, South Carolina. They were last seen at the event between 10:30 p.m. and 11 p.m. At the time of their disappearances, they were driving through Dorchester County, South Carolina, en route to their residences in Orangeburg County. A witness recalled seeing their blue Lincoln, which belonged to Linda's husband, driving between 30 miles per hour and 40 miles per hour along Route 15. Another vehicle was driving behind it, but they were unable to describe it or its occupants. Sarah's husband, Philip J. Boyd, returned home from work around midnight on April 4, 1987. While he was initially concerned that she and Kimberly weren't yet home, he assumed they were with relatives or Linda. He notified the local authorities after waking up at 6 a.m. and finding they still hadn't returned. On April 5, 1987, the vehicle in which the three had been traveling was located by Linda's husband at Wells Crossroad, near the intersection of Highways 15 and 176. It had been disabled and abandoned as the freeze plug had blown and the engine had overheated. There was no sign of the trio at the scene, and it's theorized they pulled over to assess the situation when they disappeared. On April 27, 1987, the State Law Enforcement Division assisted the Dorchester County Sheriff's Office in a search of a half-mile radius around where the Lincoln was recovered. A plane was brought in to assist. Unfortunately, no evidence was located. The case received limited media attention. In August 1987, an advertisement was placed in a local newspaper, offering a $6,000 reward for information leading to the whereabouts of Kimberly, Sarah and Linda. In 1990, Sarah's credit card was used at a local mall. Police stated the signature was barely legible and didn't match the missing woman's handwriting. The identity of the person who used the credit card has never been established, and it's currently unknown if they had any involvement in the trio's disappearances. The case has since gone cold, and it's the belief of investigators that foul play was involved. At the time, the Dorchester County Sheriff claimed to have a few suspects, but they never named anyone. Kimberly Janice Boyd went missing from Orangeburg, Dorchester County, South Carolina on April 3, 1987. She was 2 years old, and what she was last wearing is unknown. At the time of her disappearance, she stood at 3'43" and weighed 25 pounds. She had black hair and brown eyes. Sarah W. Boyd went missing from Orangeburg, Dorchester County, South Carolina on April 3, 1987. She was 32 years old and was last seen wearing a beige floral print dress. At the time of her disappearance, she stood between 4'63" and 5'63" and weighed between 105 and 110 pounds. She had black hair and brown eyes. She may wear eyeglasses and was known to sometimes go by the name Jeanette. Linda McCord went missing from Orangeburg, Dorchester County, South Carolina on April 3, 1987. She was 31 years old, and what she was last wearing is unknown. At the time of her disappearance, she had black hair and brown eyes. Her height and weight are currently unknown. She may wear eyeglasses. Currently, Kimberly's case is classified as a non-family abduction, while Sarah and Linda's cases are classified as endangered missing. If alive, Kimberly would be 36 years old, Sarah would be 67, and Linda would be either 65 or 66 years of age. Those with information regarding the case are asked to contact the Dorchester County Sheriff's Office at either 843-873-5111 or 843-832-0300. Tips can also be called into the Missing Persons Unit at 843-563-3511.
Number 2.
In March 1991, 2.5-year-old Tommy Gibson vanished from his front yard in Azalea, Oregon. His father, Larry, a Douglas County deputy sheriff, believed an unknown couple abducted him. 6 weeks later, however, police announced that they believed Larry was involved in his disappearance. In May 1991, a 31-page affidavit was filed by the Oregon State Police, naming him as the prime suspect. However, he maintains his innocence. According to Larry, on the morning of March 18, he came outside and found Tommy playing in the yard. He told him to stay there and wait for his 4.5-year-old sister Karen to come out. Larry claimed that he then went out for a jog, taking his .45 automatic with him. As he went over a fence in his yard, he noticed a stray cat walking nearby. He and his neighbors had been having problems with stray cats for several weeks. They tried to take the cats to the Humane Society, but they did not have room for them. Because of this, he decided to shoot at the cat he saw. However, he apparently missed, and it ran down the hill. His wife, Judith, claimed that she heard the shot. She said that she then heard Tommy playing on the porch. According to Larry, after the cat ran off, he looked through the area for the used shell casing, but was unable to find it. He then continued on his jog, which lasted over 47 minutes. When he returned, Judith told him that she could not find Tommy. She, Karen, and Larry's brother had searched for him without success. Within an hour, several neighbors, volunteers, and sheriff's deputies began to search the woods around the Gibson home. Investigators felt that Larry was acting suspiciously during the search. First, instead of immediately going out and searching for Tommy, he decided to take a shower and get into his uniform. He claimed that he did not think it was a serious enough situation yet and that they would find Tommy quickly. Next, he told people to stop searching because it was snowing. Also, even though his supervisor told him not to report to work, he left in his patrol car. He claimed that he did so because he believed that Tommy had been abducted and he wanted to check nearby rest areas. Several days after Tommy's disappearance, Larry was interviewed by FBI agents. During which, he lied to them and claimed that he never left home that afternoon. Investigators later discovered a discrepancy in the mileage of his patrol car. It was only at that point that he told them the truth about leaving in the afternoon. When questioned, Judith told police that he had gone to Glendale that afternoon to check on his private car. However, she has since claimed that the investigators twisted her words around. 7 weeks into the investigation, detectives confronted Larry about their suspicions. They told him that they believed that he had accidentally shot and killed Tommy and covered up his death so that he would not lose his job and standing in the community. He claimed that this did not happen, but strangely said that the scenario was possible. He later stated that he was talking hypothetically. The affidavit released by the state police centered on the 47-minute time frame during which Larry allegedly went on his jog. It documents one possible theory that investigators believe accounts for the time gaps and other discrepancies in his statement. He claimed that when he fired at the cat, it ran off into the weeds and he assumed that the shot had missed. Investigators did find a dead cat in the area. A forensic examination revealed that it had been shot through the lungs and heart and probably died almost instantly. Investigators theorized that the bullet passed through it and struck Tommy as he played nearby. They suspect that Larry continued on his jog, unaware that Tommy had been shot. Larry claimed that he jogged for over 2 miles, which took him 47 minutes. However, investigators determined that he jogged for 1 mile, which would have taken about 20 minutes. This left more than 20 minutes unaccounted for. Investigators believe that when he returned, he found Tommy's body and panicked. He then spent the next 20 minutes cleaning up the scene and hiding Tommy's body, possibly in the trunk of his patrol car. They also theorized that, while volunteers searched for Tommy, Larry drove away with his body in the trunk of his patrol car. Larry, however, claimed that the theory is not true. He notes that he passed a polygraph test and no forensic evidence was found to back up the theory. He claimed that 2 eyewitness reports back up the story that Tommy was kidnapped. 2 weeks after the disappearance, a neighbor realized that she had seen the presumed abductor's vehicle that day. She claimed that she was driving to the bank when she noticed an older, gold or tan-colored truck pass by her. It had 2 occupants and its license plate was in the back window, not where it was supposed to be. She claimed to have seen it pull into a driveway that led to the Gibson home. However, when initially interviewed, she did not tell investigators about it. Karen allegedly later told Larry and Judith that she had seen a woman and man take Tommy away from their front yard. The woman had long, blonde hair and the man had dark hair, a beard, and scruffy clothes. The truck was similar in description to the one seen by the neighbor. However, When interviewed by police on 3 separate occasions, she did not tell them about this story. They believe that Larry is coaching her with it. Soon after Tommy vanished, investigators received a mysterious letter which was signed "Spot in the Road." They believe the author has vital information regarding his disappearance. Larry is the prime suspect in Tommy's disappearance. It is believed that he accidentally shot and killed him while trying to shoot a cat, or that he beat him to death. Investigators have noted that he had several inconsistencies in his story, especially about the time frame when Tommy vanished. Larry, however, believes that Tommy was abducted. 2 witnesses described a gold or tan-colored truck as possibly being involved in the abduction. The alleged abductors were a white male with dark hair, beard, and scruffy clothes, and white female with long, blonde hair. They have never been identified.
Number 3.
At 3 p.m. on Sunday, June 28, 1987, 11-year-old Jennifer Lee Martin purchased candy and a 6-pack of Coca-Cola at a 7-Eleven convenience store on Lemon Drive in Reno, Nevada. She walked out of the store, headed toward her nearby home, and vanished into thin air. Jennifer resided at 145 Surge Street in Reno, just around the corner from the 7-Eleven. The walk home should have taken her less than 5 minutes. Neighborhood children reported seeing Jennifer at the entrance to the park. Jennifer's older brother, Charles Martin, then aged 19, gave her the money to buy the Coca-Cola plus a little extra to get herself something. 20 minutes went by, and Jennifer had not returned home. Charles went to the convenience store but could not find her. Store clerk D. Fuemiller said she recognized Jennifer because the girl frequently visited the store. Jennifer made her purchases and then walked out of the store. D. saw her walk left toward home and did not see anyone else outside. At the time, a customer in the store had asked for directions, but the police ruled him out in Jennifer's disappearance. Witnesses saw a light-colored Toyota Corolla that police could not identify. Jennifer's older sister, Colleen Martin, 35 years old at the time of her disappearance, said in 2012 that Jennifer was not intimidated by adults and would not have willingly left with a stranger. She had no history of running away. There are a couple of other cases similar to Jennifer Lee Martin's disappearance. 4 years before the disappearance of Jennifer Lee Martin, 10-year-old Anthony Tony Franco vanished from the same area of Reno. On Monday, May 9, 1983, Tony's mother, Liza Yandel, now Ackerman, helped him get ready for school and asked if she could take his 4-H ribbon to work to show her coworkers. During the weekend, Tony had shown his rabbits, Buck Rogers and Samantha, and his pony, Pepper. He did an excellent job answering questions and won a big blue ribbon. Liza left for work in downtown Reno. Her husband, Tom Yandel, had just returned home from working the graveyard shift at his job. He heard Tony shut the door on his way to Lemon Valley Elementary School, half-mile away. Tony never arrived at school. Witnesses saw him leaning over and talking to an unknown subject in either a Ford Pinto or Chevy Camaro at the southern end of a cul-de-sac on Fremont Street. Tony should have walked north on Fremont to get to school. Police said it wasn't uncommon for kids to visit the 7-Eleven before school, the same 7-Eleven Jennifer Lee Martin visited before her disappearance. Tony Franco ran away from home a month before his disappearance but had left a note for his mother. Tony took some food and dishes with him. He returned within a few hours, telling Liza that he was sorry and would never run away again. Authorities did not search for Tony until a week after his disappearance because they assumed he had run away again, even though he left no note and did not take any personal belongings with him. Tom Yandel took and passed a lie detector test, and police ruled him out as a suspect. While authorities have not linked the 2 disappearances together, they both vanished within a short distance from one another. Jennifer Lee Martin's disappearance is eerily similar to the Courtney Clayton case I previously wrote. Courtney, 7, disappeared in September 1988 after leaving a convenience store in Stamford, Texas. Her older brother, Ryan, arrived at the store shortly after, but Courtney was gone. Courtney's remains were found in March 1989, but her killer was never caught. While Jennifer was 11 years old, she appeared much younger due to her small frame. It is possible her abductor mistook her for a younger child. Could these two cases be connected, even though they are a long distance from one another? The answer is yes. A man who passed away in 2012 was linked to a 1974 abduction and murder in Montana and one attempted kidnapping in New York in 1973. Authorities believe that Richard William Davis, who died in 2012, might have other victims across the U.S. Between 1971 and 1990, several children and young women were murdered in Reno. All of the cases listed below are unsolved, except for the Lisa Bonham case and possibly the Julie Woodward case. Gloria Crummett, 16, was found dead on July 26, 1971, near Lemon Valley. She had been reported missing on July 16. Lisa Bonham, 6, was raped and murdered in Reno in 1977. Police arrested her killer in 2000 after DNA linked him to the crime. Julia Woodward, 20, was found dead on March 25, 1979, in the hills near Lemon Valley. She had been en route from the San Francisco airport to seek employment in the South Lake Tahoe area. In 2019, a man was charged with Julie's murder, but her case is still listed with Reno's unsolved crimes. Sherry Harbicki, 20, was last seen in April 1979. Her badly decomposed remains were found on June 5, 1979, under a mattress behind the Black Springs Bar along North Virginia Street in North Reno. Jeannie Smith, 17, was last seen at the Circus Hotel in Reno on October 28, 1979. Her remains were found in Lemon Valley a few days later. She died from blunt force trauma. Karen Santons Coy, 19, was found dead along Red Rock Road, north of Reno, on July 10, 1980. She was last seen talking to two white males at the Reno Rodeo on June 28, 1980. Cindy Cook, 16, was found dead on January 25, 1981, north of Reno. She was last seen hitchhiking from her Lemon Valley home to an arcade at the Lemon Valley Shopping Center. Charles Chia, 8, and his sister, Jennifer Chia, 6, disappeared from southwest Reno after exiting their school bus to walk the short distance to their home in the Timber Hills apartment complex on October 18, 1989. Their remains were found a few months later next to Highway 70 in Plumas County, California. Monica Da Silva, 7, was abducted from her bedroom on September 3, 1990. Her remains were found 3 weeks later.
Number 4.
23-year-old Michael Anthony Womack was last seen leaving a friend's house in Alton, Illinois, between 1:30 and 2 p.m. on March 31, 2008. Michael was driving his dark green 2004 Ford F-150 truck. It was found in a gas station parking lot in Cahokia, Illinois, 2 weeks after his disappearance with the keys locked inside. Cahokia is about 30 miles south of Alton, adjacent to the Mississippi River. There was no damage to the vehicle, and someone had wiped it clean of any evidence. Michael did not know anyone in Cahokia, but his sister told Riverbender.com that Walmart Corporation had plans to open a store there, and that would have been the only reason Michael would have been in that town. A phone tower transmitted the last call on his cell phone near the former Godfrey Speedway in Godfrey, Illinois, 6 miles north of Alton. However, the call could have come from any location within a minimum 20-mile radius of the base station, including Alton. Michael never showed up for his job at the Wood River Walmart, nor did he attend a traffic court scheduled appearance 2 days later. 28-year-old Joel Moore was last seen by a coworker driving his white Cadillac DeVille on Route 13 in Harrisburg, Illinois, on March 27, 2010. While this was not a confirmed sighting, the coworker was positive that the person was Joel. Joel, who resided in nearby Galatia, sent a text to his brother, Nathan, around 6:30 p.m., saying he would stay with some old friends and would not be home that night. He worked at the now-defunct Mad Pricer in Harrisburg. He left behind all of his belongings, save for his contact solution. No one has seen or heard from since. Not long after his disappearance, witnesses reported seeing him with the Rainbow family of the Living Light in Jefferson County. His family said that they were not the type of people he normally hung out with. Joel and his vehicle have never been found. While there was an initial search for him in 2010, there has been little activity in the case since. Jared Hanna, 28 years old and a father of 2 girls, was last seen on Saturday, July 2, 2011. His abandoned and parked 1990 GMC truck was found without gas on July 5 on Jolliffe Bridge Road in Clinton County, nearly 2 hours from his residence in Jerseyville in Jersey County. Jared's last confirmed sighting was at 11:45 a.m. on July 2 on surveillance images at a local food mart. There were a couple of unconfirmed sightings of Jared at a couple of bars in Alton that night. When Jared did not pick his daughters up to go fishing on July 3, his family knew something was wrong. Calls to his cell phone went straight to voicemail. His cell phone pinged off a tower around 9:30 p.m. on July 2 in Centralia. Sometime after, his phone was either shut off or had died. Later that summer, Jared's black duffel bag was found underneath a deer stand 5 miles from where his truck was found. Investigators said it had been there since he disappeared. No leads came from the duffel bag. Despite several searches for Jared Hanna, he has never been found. He is not listed in the Charlie Project or the Doe Network databases. 61-year-old William Bill McPike went missing on May 18, 2017. He was last seen walking into his home near the Piazza Creek opening of the Mississippi River on Bluff Lane. He has not been seen since, and there are few details available in his case. A quick Facebook search led to his brother's page, where there is no mention of Bill's disappearance. It does not appear authorities found him dead or alive.